Karl reporting to you from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And I'm here with my colleague, Scott Knox at Knox Tech on the south side of Ottawa. And we're here to get some more progress from you guys, Scott, and your team and everything that's going on here. And we've got lots to report to you. But Scott, do you remember last time when we were here, you showed me and we talked about the supports for the wing ribs and all the good stuff, the progress you're making. So the wing rib is in roughly the same spot, but tell us, this is the last wing rib, and tell us all about that and what's going on right here at Knox Tech.
Sounds great. Yeah, this is the last rib of 4 new build ribs. And the last time we were here, we had some of the vertical supports in place and then the roof of the bomb bay, but a lot of the other riveting hadn't happened yet. Right. So now we're down to the last couple of rib stiffeners now, and this will be done probably in a matter of 2 or 3 hours. Once this is complete, this jig can be disassembled and we're done with the ribs. So from the original 8 that we had, we now have 12, 4 of them being new build, and then we can now move on to other phases. So we had a bit of a hiatus during the winter time, unfortunately. We got stalled, but for a good reason. We knew going forward that the space here, we only have 1,000 square feet, was already tight, and we need to maximize the space. We had an old office at the front of the warehouse here. So we've removed the office, we've built a mezzanine, which now goes basically from the front of the shop to the back and frees up all of the space from the garage door right to the back of the shop, gives us the full 30-some feet so that we can have the completed spar, rear spar, rib assembly, the whole wing section in one piece when we're at that stage.
Right, and like where the camera is shooting from now was basically the edge of the office. And now you've moved the office upstairs, and then that opens up the whole area here on the floor to put together a center section, a intermediate wing, a outer wing panel, a cockpit section.
You got it.
And I'm reading your mail. And so the whole point being is I see this as a great asset to moving ahead on the Halifax. So now tell us your immediate future plans for the rebuild shop and assembling here. So we're down to the final rib, and what would you like to do in the coming weeks?
So I've already started to do a rough design on a jig assembly. I think in the last videos that we showed, we talked about the rear spar and the spar booms that are 15 feet long. It's a T-section in essence, and we need to taper those down. So I'm designing an assembly that we can, in essence, machine these pieces down and taper them to the dimensions that we need. So we'll be taking what's left of the old spar, disassembling it, using it as a template, and coupled with the drawings that we have, and that'll be our next major phase. So that's we should have this done in a week or 2. I'm looking forward to getting a good start on that jig table over the next few weeks, and hopefully by say late June, early July, we can start to really start to prepare for the drilling and preparation of the rear spar components.
Sure, and I will speak on it a little bit further towards the end of this program, but I've just received reports from our Swedish scuba divers, and they've surveyed the area, the first dive of the year for 2018, and everything is as we thought. The grid is still there, the parts are still there. They've actually found a rudder of the Halifax laying right there on the surface. So those are all components that we can get for you. And we don't have the intermediate wing or the outer wing panels yet, but we believe under the sand we've got all those other goodies for you. So as you guys move forward here doing your good work, we will be able to hopefully provide you with other components as we move forward. But we'd just like to thank you for all your innovation, all your determination, and for everything that you've done here, because this is magic happening here. And Canada, you don't know what magic these guys are going to do, but they're doing it great. And we just wanted to thank you for that. And how do you feel about contributing to another Halifax for Canada?
I think it's brilliant. You know, part of our job is to tell the story. So when you meet people on the street or at a party or on an airplane going to Rome, say, you know, you tell the story, right? And people are amazed, you know, to you know, grasp the effort. The Canadian effort was phenomenal, right? And you know, it's important that we don't forget. It's, and that's what it's all about, right? So this is a means to an end. It's a way to tell a story so that we don't forget about the sacrifices made by men and women during that critical moment in Canadian history.
Sure, and you know, I could add something for our British viewers that they might like to know. And your dad flew with the Royal Air Force as a Canadian in the Royal Air Force. And folks out there in UK land, did you know 1 out of every 7 airmen that flew in a British squadron, in a British aircraft in World War II was a Canadian of the Royal Canadian Air Force? So not only did the Canadians have their own many squadrons that they contributed to Allied victory, but 14%, 1 out of every 7 airmen that was in a British bomber was a Canadian. So this project is for you guys in the United Kingdom.
Absolutely. No, it's the effort by the Commonwealth was massive, right? And you know, so often Australian, New Zealand, Canadian efforts are not forgotten on purpose, but maybe, you know, they refer to the Allies, or they refer to the U.S. or the Brits. But we were there, and we were there with bells on, right? And we contributed, you know, everything between you know, material, food, men, training facilities, you name it. We helped, and you know, there wasn't a Canadian family that wasn't affected during the Second World War, and we can't forget that. It's just too important.
Right, and this is all going, if we can put together a Halifax in the years to come, and we know it's going to take years, but we can keep rolling as long as folks out there will support us, is there will be another Halifax for Canada at the Bomber Command Museum of Canada in Alberta. And that's our big push, is we would love to have a restored Halifax and a restored Lancaster running together. And that's our aim, something big. But
beautiful site.
Yeah, Scott, thank you very much for all your work, and look forward to working with you in the near future on as you progress here. And with your beautiful new remodeled shop, we can get the ball really rolling for a center section and the backbone, the core of a Halifax to become part of it. Thanks, buddy.
You betcha. Anytime.